Now he is mentioned about Kaal standing on one leg for 1,000 years. That's a nice story. When you can't describe something of an area where there's no language to describe it, we make stories. All mystics, all saints have made stories. They have used parables, they have used metaphors, they have used similes, they have made stories. The story is only that the negativity that had to be created to create pairs of opposites. If positive thing, it can't be positive if there's no negative. So the positivity of consciousness had to be matched by a negativity of something else. The consciousness we have defined as soul. Totality of consciousness, totality of soul. Soul is the power that gives us awareness of everything. Everything created by awareness. And therefore, the soul, the oversoul, the totality of soul creates everything. What can we make as its opposite? We can't make another soul its opposite. That's just the same drama of the soul. We make a negativity which is not a soul and make the whole experience happen. What we call Kaal is not another soul. Kaal has no soul. Kaal literally means time. Kaal literally means the creation of space-time as we know it, so that becomes the opposite of soul, opposite of consciousness. Kaal is merely a function which creates the duality. Kaal is not a being. We make it a being to write a story. Why we say that Kaal stood on his leg for thousands of years is because when these stories were written, there were so many yogis practicing one leg in the river and standing for long times. They were considered to be very perfect yogis. They still do that. If you go to India and go to Haridwar, you see some yogis still standing on one leg in the river, practicing that kind of yoga. But since those yogis were very strong yogis to stand on one leg for so long, and the longer they could stand, there was sort of a competition amongst them. And the one who outlasted all became the bigger yogi. So those yogis set up a standard that he could do so much, therefore he is very powerful. Now we want to show that the negative energy that was created through time was powerful. So we make a story that Kaal stood on one leg. I'm sure he had no legs. We can say time has a leg, all right. Then the time was created to create a situation, give it power, so that it matches and becomes the opposite of the essential nature of consciousness, which then automatically becomes a positive. There can be no positive if there is no negative. Consciousness is not a positive entity unless there was a negative. So that is why these stories have been told just to show how the juxtaposition was made to enhance the experience of consciousness at all levels. That's what happened.